Morning guys, welcome to my channel. Let's get right into the stock charts, let you guys know what I'm reading, and get this video out. So I'll try to keep this one short. Alright, so the short trade's working. We gapped down this morning and we had that marked out. So go back and watch my video yesterday. I added to my short position and took a full-size position yesterday. Doing well this morning. So I think that's going to continue. And look at the futures. They a little bit of a pop there, starting to fade. So I think we're going to at least get down to the 73.56 level on the futures. And what does that mean for the triple Qs? Well, let's zoom in. All right, so we got this level here at 182.20. I get that on the daily. Look at the daily. Here's how you can read the level. Look. Put your lines out there, see the daily, start with the daily and then narrow it in and evaluate the hourly. But see the daily, see this day closed right there. And then we got another day that closed right there, another day that closed right there, another day that closed right there. So several days have confirmed that this is an important level. And then lots of reactions around it where this level is just, kind of candles or wicks. But when you see a wick just overshoot a level and then come back and close right at that level, that tells you that there's possibly something there. And when you have more than one reactions that do that, like this, and this, then that tells me that that's the level. So probably going to get down there today, 182.27. I might take a little bit of profit right there. Like I said, I grabbed my final position up around this 195. So that'll be a 12 bucks on that, so not bad. And but I think we're going to probably head lower over time as well, but not a bad idea to maybe lighten up a little bit as the trade starts to work. That allows you to keep, if you take profit, then you can keep some of your trade and let it run for those big trades. So that's what I like to do. All right, so that's where I think things go. Look at the hourly here. I mean, we've got, there it is right there. I marked that out just to take profit a little bit early, but basically right there. But I think that's where we're going today. So we should see a flush out and move lower. And then we've got this level down at this 179. That's been a level that I was trading for a while back in these days, kind of day trading that level quite a bit. But, if we're in a bear market and looking back, let me go back to the bigger picture. It's always important to keep an eye of the bigger picture. If we're in a bear market, which I think we're in a bear market, I mean, technically in a bear market, below 20% or whatever, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're in a bear market. But all the charts are saying bear market. Okay, I've made several arguments for this, so that's how I'm trading. And so far I've been right on that call. So bear market, then you're going to have an initial surge down, catching everybody off guard. That, everybody just gets trashed. The Fed steps in, pumps the market a little bit, gives the big funds an opportunity to reposition. Now, when I say reposition, that means exiting positions, going to cash, taking short positions, repositioning for a bear market. So don't let the, if you're a retail trader, don't let the institutions, reposition and then you still ride out a bear market. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So I think, if you don't want to short, I understand a lot of people don't like to short or don't know how to short, or don't have the accounts to short, then, then you could take profit on your long positions in these bear market rallies, and then just sitting cash or gold trades can work while this thing continues to wash out. If you don't know how to short, leave a comment below. I can maybe give you a little information on that. It's not difficult. It's the same thing as buying a stock and going long. You're just taking the opposite side. So it's not a difficult thing to learn how to do. However, it is risky. There's more risk involved with going short. You need to know what you're doing a little bit more, but at the same time, it's not difficult to enter a short trade. All right, so Q's going lower. NVIDIA, someone pointed this out and said, what do you think about this? And I actually grabbed a short position on this today. So what do I think about it? I think it's a great short. Here's why. On the daily chart, you have this uptrend channel. This started back in August of 2019. Rode it up. As we zoom in, we've got the what do they call this? The flush out move or whatever. It's the kind of the blow off top. Yeah. So you got the blow off top right here, boom, and then that ended, came back, came right to the trend line, and look at the trend line. This validates this trend line that I have. So you've got several reactions, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then look at the daily right here, boom, right there. There's 5. We gapped down and closed above. That's another reaction around that level. So several, and then once you broke that, we start to see those reactions from underneath. So those are back tests. So right there, and then especially right there. So the recent rally, all that was a big old back test, and we back tested there and starting to fail. So I think we head south from this point. When you break a trend, you will go down, and you can do back tests. Back tests are usually the objective area to get short. So that's I didn't quite get this one perfect because I just saw it today. I wasn't paying attention to this. This would have been your best level to be short. However, close enough to take a shot. So short here, and I think we head south. Let's look at Apple. And okay, so Apple, look at that. Downward trend line. Okay, this is an hourly chart. Downward trend line right here. And a breakout. Failed. So that's a false breakout. That's what you look for when you that's a bull trap essentially, and that's what I was expecting. When you have the indices pointed down and all the things saying bearish, and you get a breakout, there's a high probability it's going to be a false breakout, and that's exactly what this is. So boom, false breakout, recaptured back within resistance, starting to sell off. This thing should go lower. Where's it go to? Well, here's some levels that I got, 230, 218. I have those marked out. So I think that's where we head in the short term, and probably lower. Microsoft. So Microsoft is more bullish in the medium to long term, but in the short term, I think we're bearish. And what do we do? Well, let's see. I think, here's the level that I had, 160. I get that from back here. Looks like we overshot that and then failed. I think we're heading down here to this 132 in the short term. So I think this will work its way down. It doesn't have to be 132. It's just this trend line, depending on when we get there. Where do I get the trend line? Well, go to your daily. And you can see I mark it out. There's your low, reaction there. Only 2 data points. So it's not, well, I guess you could call this a third right here. This is close enough. So 3 data points. So yeah, trend line right there. I think we're going to head there. I think we're going to probably break that. And we're going to head down to the major trend line, major support down around $86. So it's down there a ways. I think that's where we're heading though. All right, flipping over. Here's my trading platform. I use Lightspeed Trader. But here's the 1 minute chart. And as you can see, this is what I was looking for. This is what I got, this line I marked out. But basically, we gapped. If I go to the 5 minute, we gap down. You get the little fake out move. Couldn't even fill the gap. Very bearish. And this is what I was expecting. In fact, I was watching it and I was like, I bet they're going to probably try to act like they're going to fill the gap, because everybody sees this gap. Gap fill is a very common trade. When you gap down to gap fill is a very common trade. So I expected, okay, they're going to make it seem like they're going to gap fill, but I think it's so weak, it's not going to be able to gap fill, and the sellers are going to step in early. So that just tells me a lot of people want to short, and that is what's happening basically. And so gap down, run up, make it about halfway to the gap, can't fill the gap, sell off, heading south. We're going lower. That's just the way I see it. There's really nothing that I can, So I think we're heading down to this 182. We should be there shortly, in fact. So I'll probably take a little bit of profit right down here in a second. And then and then we'll probably get a reaction here. I would suspect this is probably about as low as we're going to go today, right around this 180. Sorry, I got to flip back to my other chart to see it. Sometimes I carry levels over to my trading platform just to make sure I'm able to see it. Yeah, 182, 180, 193, 182, somewhere right in there. Looks like we're heading right down there. So that is, yeah, it's not that far down. So should get there today. If we don't get there today, maybe we get there tomorrow. But ultimately, the price action that you're seeing right now is everything. I'm reading only bearish things. So, gap fill, can't fill. Look at that doji right there. Shooting star doji with confirming selling, follow-up doji. So when you want to see these dojis, if you see a doji, look for what's the next candle do? Is it a big, does it confirm a reversal? And this does right here. This candle does. So should go lower. And this could start to build up steam. This was most likely a bear market rally, and if this was, then the next, we could easily start to undercut these lows, and head down here to this 143 is where I see this next leg down going. So maybe we stop short, don't quite get there, maybe we overshoot. I'm just saying around this range I think is the next leg down. So we'll have to just evaluate that as we work our way down. That's all I got, guys, for this video. Oh, you know what? One person wanted me to point out Tesla, so let's look at this real quick, and then I gotta run. What is Tesla doing? Tesla's a crazy one because you've got a lot of fanatics and people that just think the company makes the best products in the world. And I don't really care about their products or either way. It's not really anything to do with that. It's just really about the charts. See what we see here. All right, so there's the level I had marked out, 386. I said, okay, we're probably going to get down there. We did. We undercut it a little bit and then recovered. So that's your level of support, your major level. See what else we got here. Sorry, I'm just trying to read this in kind of real time. There's your downward trend. Looks like somewhere right in there. We'll call it that. No, you know what? Let me see if I can. It's about right there. So downward trend, and I don't see much else. Yeah, that's not very valid. So yeah, I think we head back down and break below this 385. That's my initial read on it. You shot up, we failed. This was, we started a bear market across the board in all stocks and indices. So you run down, tag support, you get the bear market rally, and then you start to roll over and fail. So where's Tesla going? Well, I think we're going to 182 in Tesla. That's bigger picture, longer term, but I think that's where we go. So that's my initial read on Tesla without getting into too much detail. That's where I think it goes. All right, guys, thanks. Catch you on the next one. Give me a thumbs up. Really appreciate that. Channel's growing, kind of. I know the people that have been following along for a while are probably getting a lot of value, and hopefully you're able to follow along with some of these trades. They've been pretty spot on, a lot of them recently. I'm not always like that. Sometimes charts are hard to read, but right now in this kind of a market, it's actually been pretty easy. So thanks, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.